Hundreds of Nigerians under the aegis of #IStandWithNigeria group have held an anti-government rally in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. One of the organizers, the Enough is Enough group, says it is protesting about a raft of issues including security, education, health, power and unemployment.
They have a lawful right of assembly, and citizens have chosen to come and express themselves in one voice this morning to say that they stand with Nigeria, and despite the challenges that they want the government to understand the challenges that they're going through, but also know that they will, their rights to assembly will not be taken away from them. But in Lagos State, we have the police are here to guide us, not to stop us, and we thank the police force for that, for doing their constitutional jobs. Protest is a means of communication. It's a means of letting government know that they're tired. People want them to hear them. So newspaper articles are not doing it. Social media is not doing it. It's an opportunity to get Nigerians in one spot and speaking in one voice around what their challenges are. We chose two national icons, the stadium and the National Theatre, because they're both reflective of the decline in Nigeria over the years. So the idea is to represent them in Lagos, since there's another group in Abuja. So, but for those of us in Lagos, we choose two national icons.
Meanwhile, the anti-government protesters also gathered in Abuja to protest against government policies. One of the leaders of the group and co-convener of Bring Back Our Girls, Aisha Yusufu, says Nigerians believe their feelings are not properly addressed by this administration, and they're calling on the government to step up their change agenda to pull the nation out of recession.
We stamped Buhari into office in 2015, and because he promised Nigerians he was going to do a lot of things. Then he got into power, and what happened? Our president has never spoken to Nigerians. When he wants to talk about Nigeria, he gets on a plane, he goes outside Nigeria, and he starts gossiping about us. Are we so useless that our president cannot address us? Are we so idiotic that our president cannot tell us things are hard and this is my plan? Are we so useless that our president cannot invite us and tell us, look, we need your help to get this? We don't get compassion. We don't get empathy. We don't get thoughtfulness. There is no plan. And then we are told we cannot protest too. What kind of country is that? What kind of citizens are we? And who are we to be told, look, you can only protest if the police license you? This is our country too.
While still talking protest, at the same Unity Fountain Park, another group of protesters who say they're in support of President Muhammadu Buhari also gathered with placards. Some of the placards read, quote, "Nigerians support you, sir. Your government is a good government." This protest apparently is to counter the anti-Buhari demonstration, which was also held at the Unity Park.
This is not a response to one proposed protest. No. And neither is a counter to theirs. No. They have their right just like we have ours. There is need for Nigerians not to frustrate the effort of President Buhari in taking Nigeria back to the fast-moving lane. You will agree with me as IT experts, which I'm sure is common here, that when a system is corrupt and you have to shut it down to format it before you boot it, everything will close. Nothing will work at that point. That is where Nigeria is at this point. Corruption has eaten deep to all our fibers, to all our operation system. There is need to format it. That is what President Buhari is doing. And in doing it, the whole system is down, no doubt about it. We are aware of the increment in market products. We are aware of all of that. Don't tell me new thing that, oh, rice has increased from 8,000 to 20,000. We are aware. We patronize the same market. We are aware of all of this. But it is part of the shutting down of the system for the purpose of formatting it so we can have a better operating system and better Nigeria.
In the meantime, popular music artist Two-Face Idibia has explained why he was not physically present at the anti-Buhari rally in Abuja and Lagos. In a telephone interview with Channels Television, Two-Face insists he's still in support of the rally, but only backed out because of security reasons.
Yeah, I mean, they're good people of Nigeria. I don't have the sole franchise to protest. You know, so I feel so. I'm still in support of them. I think it's within their rights to. I mean, I can't tell anybody not to stand for what they believe in. You understand? For me, you know, as of Yesterday evening, I noticed a whole lot of people were trying to hijack the whole process. I only decided to, back out of the physical protest due to security reasons. But it's not as if, I'm not still standing by the things that I said or the things that I'm feeling about, governance in Nigeria for a long time now. There's such a huge disconnect between the leadership class of Nigeria and the people and the masses. I think there's a huge disconnect. Only when there's election that they really talk to the people, and afterwards it's like silence. Like they don't owe the people any explanation about anything. And we have a whole lot of those people in government, in House of Assembly. We have a whole lot of this kind of people, And also I'm talking to Nigerians as well, because we have to start doing the right things. We have to start speaking up our minds. We have to start standing up for what is right. Maybe people are awake. I wanted to make this clear. I was not arrested by the good people at DSS. I am free. I am good. Nobody intimidated me. Nobody harassed me. Nobody paid me to start it in the first place, and nobody paid me to stop it. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't stop the protest. I only stopped the physical conversion.
Well, let's get more on this story from our correspondent, Loretta Chogo, who monitored the protests live in Lagos. You're welcome to the program, Loretta.
Thank you, Tim Topwell.
So tell us more about what you witnessed at the I Stand With Nigeria protest. What was the mood like?
Well, I think taking a cue from Two-Face's absence from the protest, it would have dampened that protest if the people did not resolve to continue. Now, that was the major link. There was a resolve by the protesters to continue and to make their demands known to the governments of the day, state and central. And so, of course, they continued. Although at the initial points, the crowd was not impressive, and the coordinators actually said that perhaps it's because of Two-Face's absence. But it would amaze you that after, giving their speeches, which bordered on the high cost of living, high cost of food, unemployment, lack of power supply, water, and after their speeches, they moved out of the stadium to go to another location, which was supposed to be the National Theatre. I must say to you, I, as a reporter, was surprised at what I saw after we left the National Stadium onto the street. And you could imagine from nowhere people joined the protests from every angle until they were stopped on the way by the police saying, look, you're not moving towards Freedom Park in Ojota. You have to either go back to the stadium or you look for another location. But I must tell you that their spirit wasn't dampened. They were just ready to, reel out their mindset and their thought about what they're going through, now, particularly the hardship. Is there any particular
reason why the protesters were stopped from getting to Freedom Park?
Well, no reason was given, but I want to think it's because of security. Before now they've been saying that if Two-Face was part of that protest, it would be hijacked by hoodlums. And of course, these are areas where you have a lot of this kind of people. I just want to believe that's my own opinion, but perhaps it was just to check the security level and to ensure that it didn't go out of hand.
So do you see the protests continuing beyond today? Well,
I must tell you that along the way, while they were moving towards Freedom Park before they had the U-turn back to the National Theatre, Charlie Boy joined that protest along that way, and I know you saw that video where I also appeared. And he said categorically at the National Theatre that the protest will continue. He actually said it will continue next month in Abuja, and don't know if it's going to be in Lagos also elsewhere, but he mentioned that he was going to lead the protest next month. And the demands are very clear. They've said it. So let's see how it goes from there.
So what was the security situation like at the protest?
There was a massive presence of security personnel, massive presence. When I say massive presence. But I think what I appreciate most was that there was no threat to any life, and there was no arrest made. As at the time of the report, no arrest was made. Everything went on peacefully and very calm too. And the security personnel were just giving guidance and ensuring that it was not hijacked after all.
Loretta, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa.
You're welcome.